Okay, today is the ninth day of Christmas and the second day of the new year. And I'll have my Christmas lights up through the 12th day of Christmas. But, 2024 for me has been a year of massive shifts in a lot of different ways, spiritually for sure. It really started in the middle of 2023, but has accelerated so much over the course of the last year. And now comes 2025, which is to be a year of expansion and manifestation of the rewards of all that shifting that occurred last year. Towards the end of 2024, I was continuing to meditate and receive downloads. Normally, a download, I know that I've received it when I'm meditating. But then within a day or two, I get an aha moment, and I realize that the download has been installed and processed and has become conscious for me. But for the last month, these downloads would continue to come. I would continue to receive them, but they weren't becoming conscious. And they were kind of piling up. And I was concerned that something was wrong. But I realized, either there is something wrong or it was something huge. And it seems like the second was the truth. It was something huge. And what catalyzed these numerous downloads to become conscious was when I started studying a geometric concept called the Merian Matrix, Mereon. It was recommended to me to look at week and a half ago. And what was recommended to me was a book of 570 pages. I am currently on page 150, right at chapter 7. But I wanted to come on here and share, I guess, the main points of what I've learned so far and some of the ideas that have been catalyzed for me. And I think these ideas are the actual downloads that I had been receiving for the last month. So, the Merian Matrix is a very complicated geometric object that for the most part exists in an abstract mathematical space. They present it in terms of 3D space, but it contains two main objects. There is an envelope, or what they call a geosphere, which either has 120 faces when it is compact, but when it opens up, it has 180 faces. And that's the part I've read about so far. But then there is also a core, which has 144 faces when it's compact, and it too can open up, and then it has 300 faces. This thing is made up of building blocks, and the simpler building blocks are the platonic solids, the tetrahedron, cube, octahedron, dodecahedron, and the icosahedron. And as you look at this Marian matrix, you can find all these objects in there in various numbers. And they can kind of morph into each other, and they fit in very particular ways. And there are various axes and symmetries, and it's kind of like a crystalline structure. And in addition to the platonic solids, there are Kepler solids, and these are the rhombic dodecahedron and the rhombic triacontrahedron. The book also describes 7 different functions of this object, and when one reads these functions, it reads more like something that you would learn about in, say, a business administration course or an economics course or maybe social sciences. And the applications of this thing are very wide. The symmetries and the crystalline structure suggest a lot of applications in quantum field theory. The multiple views and axes through this geometrical object suggest applications in astrophysics, relativity, cosmology. The emergent functions of this system suggest applications in organizational systems, how to optimize your production and manufacturing process, how to optimize personal relations within your group or organization for the highest satisfaction of everyone involved, as well as the highest efficiency. It seems to suggest a lot of wisdom in terms of chemistry, like atomic structure, chemical bonds, chemical crystals, carbon polymers. It suggests wisdom in terms of DNA, RNA, and protein transcription, protein folding, the function of viruses, their structure. It suggests structures for how to organize the most effective sort of educational process, how to organize your classroom, as well as social interactions. And, it seems to have a lot of potential for applications that haven't even been thought of yet. So it's exciting. I am excited to learn more and more about it. But even more than the material presented in this book are some of the ideas that come up while studying it. And it reminded me of a theory that I had been contemplating back in 2007 and 2008, which then got interrupted because I returned to work in the medical field as a physician, and that is really what took up my brain power and my time and my energy, and so this theory went to the wayside. What it is another geometric theory, but this theory is based on the sphere, and that a sphere can also be thought of as a unit. You know, you can talk about a unit sphere, whether in real space or in complex space or quaternion space. And that can be thought of as the number one. So the number one has a shape, which means trigonometry can be applied to it. Calculus can be applied to it. What is the number two? Well, it is two spheres. Simple enough. And that can exist in a 1 plus 1 dimensional space. When you get three spheres, you get a 2 plus 1 dimensional space. They can be either arranged as a line or they can be arranged into a triangle. With the number 4, those 4 spheres can be arranged as 2 triangles, or I guess that would be a parallelogram. Or you can go into 3 dimensions and you get a tetrahedron. And so as you pile on more and more spheres and the numbers get larger and larger, the variations of how those units can be arranged can also carry information and can generalize into higher and higher dimensions as the numbers increase. I wonder if this geometrical number theory could somehow correlate with the Marian matrix. So that is an idea that I am now contemplating. And I've got a whole host of others. You know, there are the functions of the Marian matrix and their basis in geometry suggests a means of addressing and reducing entropy. It appears to be a means of observing and collapsing a quantum wave function with quantized results, with a spectrum of results. It emerges in that the intervals in the Marian matrix are based on phi, the golden ratio, as well as things like the square root of 2, square root of 3. There is room for prime numbers within the Marian matrix, and certainly within the geometric number theory. and it will be very exciting to see what comes of that. When we are thinking of circles, spheres, the waves that they produce when they rotate, the sines, the cosines, the interference patterns, we can come up with a highly functional, potentially very complicated system, which, because of its simple underlying structure, that is, the sphere, can be understood. So, I have so many other things written down here, which I think would be ideas for future videos. Of course, I'm continuing to follow the line of general relativity, and specifically the energy momentum tensor. But the idea that comes when thinking of the energy momentum tensor in terms of a geometric number theory, in addition to a geometric algebra, opens an entire universe of possible opportunities to pursue.